What's up, everybody? Welcome to At the Close. Spencer Israel. I got Joel here, and tensions escalate, and the market goes higher. So war is good? Question mark. I I, I don't know. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We'll take questions from our chat, but it's weird because there's not a lot going on out there in terms of news flow. It's all just Russia, Russia, Russia. So everything is sort of colored by whatever the latest headline is. And I know it's been that way for a few weeks now, but it just seems like we're entering this like news vacuum where it's like every other news headline is just falling by the wayside, and all that matters is Russia now. So we'll talk about what the market's done today, how it reacted to the Joe Biden presser, and we'll take questions from our chat. Who said it's going up? Well, it was going up. It's not at the moment, but it was going up a few minutes ago. So whatever. Things change. It's at the close. Hit that like button for me. Let's go to work. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
3 consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, Joel. I just have to ask you. Well, I cut off the word war there, but you get the point. You get the point. What is it good for? Apparently, it's good for buying stocks.
I'm at a loss for words, Spencer. Quite, I sent you that message. What was it? Sell the war or sell the rumor, buy the war. The only thing we can hang our hat on at this time is that we're basically at Friday's low, and which is the low close of the week, or low close in the move has been 43.17. 75. I was focusing on that number this morning, and did I think we'd go up to 43.58, back down to 42.61.50, and back up to this number? No. But that's where we're at, folks.
Wait, Joel, remind me again. I'm sorry, I was a bad note taker today. What was the level you wanted to see? It was 40?
The low close for the year, not the low, because remember when we made that low for the year right here? We had that crazy day. And we actually ended up having, let me get my data window here. We ended up having the lowest close for the year at actually, I'm off 43.17.75. When did I get that close from? I get that sometime in February. I guess the low close for the move has been 42.63 1/4. And we got down to 42.50 overnight, and then 42.61.50 intraday. So we're down 27 handles. I mean, up, down, and all around. I still have to say this is not a bad day for the market, and we're trying to rally here into the close. I don't know. I mean, maybe all the bad news is out. Maybe we're prepared for this. I really couldn't tell you, but a big range, and if we close where we're right now, we're going to be closing in the upper part of the range, and not too far off the low from last week at 43.21. That's all I can give you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of at a loss here as well, because it occurred to me today, Joel, that since I've been following the market, which hasn't been that long, but since I've been following the market, to my knowledge, the U.S. has never entered into a military conflict with another major nation in that time, in this 7 years I've been paying attention to this stuff. So I don't even know how the market typically trades during times like this. Like, this is very different from a trade war. Very different from a trade war, I think. Although, actually, no, I don't know. I don't know anything, Joel. I don't know.
Actually, I'm going to go back. I did. I was looking at the actual lows of the move, which was 40 in the lower 42 handle, but the actual lowest close that we ever got was a few days after we made that low at 43.17.75. That was the actual low, and then we just shot out of a cannon there. So, here we are back at that level. Bulls are defending it ferociously, and we'll see how we end up on the close. But I'm still going to stand by when I said this morning. I said that this is an important day that we had to hold on today, and so far, 24 minutes to go, we're
Yeah.
hanging in there by the skin
Yeah.
of our teeth.
Yeah. Jay Rice says I'm young. Yes, I'm young. I can't apologize. It's not my fault that I'm young. Okay. I've never seen inflation, and I've never seen the U.S. Have a major military conflict with Russia, and yet here we are.
Well, we're not having. I mean,
Well,
it's
okay,
so
fine.
convoluted.
Dion's right. It'll be a proxy war. We'll send the UN peacekeepers in. Same difference, or the NATO troops. Whatever. Same difference, right? Tomato, tomato. Um, but gosh, so what happened? So Biden gave a press conference where he said that he announced more sanctions, economic sanctions, on Russia and on some Russian banks, and that apparently was the catalyst to drive us higher. I even if you told me what was going to happen, I couldn't even begin to guess what the market would do. So, um, gosh, I don't know. I'm at a total loss. I'm at a total loss because I have no idea what's happening right now. This morning, you know what? Here's a good sign, Joel. Is this morning we were very confused by the fact that the futures there was a massive disconnect between the futures and the stock.
Hmm.
That disconnect came in as it's wont to do after the open. I mean, the bots just made that they brought that spread in a little bit. So I guess that's something. I don't know.
All right, let's get to some
I don't know.
individual issues because
Yeah.
we're not going to figure out. We could sit here for 24 hours and we're not going to figure
Yeah.
this
Okay.
out.
So so
We'll
let's
know
start
what
with
the close is, right?
yeah.
And
Yes.
the close
Exactly.
is what everyone will be marked on, and that's what we'll
Yes.
be trading off tomorrow.
So let's start with Home Depot here. Someone tell me the last time Home Depot closed down 9%. It's not down 9% anymore. Actually, it was down 10% earlier. It's not down 10%. It's down 8.5% only. But I mean, this is we're at like a what an 8 to 10 month low here in Home Depot. I mean,
Well, first of all, Spencer, to tell the people what happened on our one and only $50 bet ever. Go ahead and tell the people.
I don't know if this is our only bet. May have been.
Okay,
Joel and I had a bet.
when it was at 310,
It was what does Home Depot?
410, 410.
Yeah, sorry. It was where does Home Depot go to first? 400 or 420? I took the 420. He took the 400. Not long after we made that bet, it got to 401, 402.
It might
Oh
have even
no,
got.
no, no, no! It got lower than that. It got to like 400 and like 40 cents, and I was hanging out by the edge of my nail, and then it ripped higher. And not only did it get to 420, it got above 420 to 420.61. That stands as the all-time high right now. That was $100 ago. So not only did I win the bet, but I won the bet by the skin of my teeth after almost losing it, but not by the skin of my teeth. So,
Actually, it went to 40022
okay, so
on
I, I
December 1st.
I almost lost by
And
22 cents, and I won
and
by
you were going to
61.
concede, and Dennis was like, "Well, no, you can't concede." And then 3 days later, it printed 420.61 and closed at 415.70, and it sniffed 420 one more time, but you got me on that one, Spencer. I should have doubled down on that one.
Yeah.
They didn't like the margin compression in that one, right? Right?
I think it was the margin compression. Although whenever you could always find a reason. The headline numbers to me seemed okay, but it seemed to indicate the report seemed to indicate that demand for like home improvement projects is slowing, which not it shouldn't be a surprise, right? I mean, demand skyrocketed for the last 2 years.
Let's get a yearly perspective. All right, first of all, rising interest rates not good for the housing market, correct? Not good for Home Depot, not good for, the fixer uppers in the rental markets. Definitely had the housing boom. People coveted their house during COVID. So That coupled with interest rates, boom, right? That's not good for the stock. But it's been an underperformer the whole year. Even before today, it was down 23% for the year versus the S&P that was down 9%. Kind of just it was tailing off, into the report. I talked about the monthly lows, and I gave you a range in the monthly lows. And at the time that I gave them to you, I had no idea that there was three monthly lows that surrounded 320, and it was at 338 at the time. I don't know, that's not getting to 320. Not only did it take out 320, not only did it take out the August low, not only did it take out the July of 2020 low at 1480. It went to 12.35, and now you're $5 up a bounce it, above it. So you got Lowe's earnings tomorrow. This is just a bad bad price
Well,
action.
the bar is low. The bar is low, though.
Yeah, the bar's low for Lowe's. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Out of all these dips and all these crazy stocks that have gotten killed off earnings, and I'm not doing it, but this would be the one that I would like be, man, oh man, can I find a
I
tradable
know.
bottom in
Because
here?
how often do you get? You never get this chance in Home Depot. You never get a 1 day drop like this.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
But we'll see. I mean, it's going to have to put at least three, four put a few more lows in here in
that's
this
it.
area
That's
before
it.
you can call it the
That's
bottom.
it.
But
Right. That's it.
it's been a
Yeah,
lot of follow through.
and if you're wondering why like XLY is down so much today, that's been your worst performing sector ETF. It's because it's Home Depot. It's because Home Depot makes up like over 4% of the XLY. So if your fifth largest holding is going to trade down 8%, 9%, it'll drag down the overall index with it. Now XLY is basically it's 40% Amazon and Tesla. That's also not helping because Tesla's having a rough day as well. So that's why the XLY is being your biggest loser today. Although interestingly enough, Joel, Microsoft is the third largest holding in the XLY. It's over 5% of the fund, and it's green today. So one of the top holdings is going against the sector-wide trend, which is interesting. So that means it's having a really good day.
Yeah, that's up. That's up fractionally here, up 27 cents at 288, 288 and a quarter. So not a bad day for Microsoft. What was?
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
was there also a
no,
consumer? There was a
McDonald's.
consumer
Wait,
confidence
did
number
I say
today.
did I say I meant McDonald's? Did I say
Oh,
Microsoft?
McDonald's.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
that's because of Carl,
Maybe.
right?
I
Right?
mean, yeah, he's launching a proxy campaign. It could be that. I don't know, but it's not often you see like the one of the top holdings in one of these sector funds diverge so strongly from the overall fund itself. But that's what's happening today. So interesting. But again, the XLY is 40% two stocks. It's Amazon, Tesla. So it'll basically do what those things do. Home Depot not helping. What about Macy's today, Joel? This was I felt like I felt vindicated this morning because I had said last week that I thought these retail reports are going to all be strong, and I'm going to give myself like a quarter, not half credit, but a quarter credit because I didn't take any action, and B, even if I bought this thing this morning, I would have lost money because it gave it all back and then some. So good report, doesn't matter, irrelevant.
When was the CEO on or when they had someone chirping on CNBC? What time was that at? Because
I don't
uh,
I
I
don't know.
yeah, you do. You should know that because that
I
I
have
gave you
no
another look at
idea.
28. I mean, I preached that number this morning. That was let's get the pre-market action in here. This is where on these crazy days, at least you can identify where the money was out in the pre-market. The money was palms out at 28. This is the pre-market action here. Boom, during the regular session, it gave another look at it, and then market forces took over. So, man, I hope if people that were trading that from the long side today, or you were listening up on that 28, only went through it by like what 19 cents, 18 cents at 28.18. So there you have, the pre-market levels confirming the daily levels, and hitting it during the regular session too. So there's a good number. What's next for Macy's? I wish I could tell you. I would say
I don't know.
I would stick with it as long as it holds 24, 24.30. That was your low back on the 14th of the month. 24.18 today. This low at 23.81. So $24. Not quite as big on the downside as 28 was on the upside, but not a bad looking number, 24. If you're trying to get long or holding a short or trying to protect some profits. We're slipping and sliding now. That 315 rally now evaporating back at 4,300. Uh, I don't want to say so much for that close at 4317.75, but it's a lot farther than it was a few minutes ago.
And yeah, and our fans bring up a good point. I mean, they're kind of hitting all retail today. It's not just Macy's. It's kind of Best Buy as well. And they report. I still am very excited for these retail reports. Whether it's Nordstrom or TJX's, I think on Thursday, Best Buy. We had Walmart last week. I'm at Target. I'm excited for all these reports, but today does not bode well for that.
No, if you're going with the trend on these, and we'll have Ryan Craver on from Commerce Canal on Wednesday and
Very,
try and
very excited.
make heads or tails out of this price action in the
Yeah.
retailers. But I just think it's I think there was a consumer confidence number that wasn't great, or that's just the reopening trade. It's a little bit of damper on it here with the Macy's earnings, but there's always a lot of action on the day of the report. So let's see, let's see if it can hold 24.
Okay, so Home Depot, a stock that you could potentially get interested in buying the dip on, so long as it forms a base and stops going down. How about a stock that you maybe would not be probably not be interested in chasing the rip on, and that's in Roku today, Joel. Did you see Roku? This is this is setting up here to be like classic. Like this to me, this seems almost too easy. You know, like you can just stop yourself, buy it now or short it now. Sorry, short it now. Stop yourself at the high of the day, whatever that is, right? 122 something, 123, and bada bing, bada boom. You got 20 points of downside here.
There was some analyst coverage on this,
I
right?
know. Yes, there was a city said something. Okay, that's all I know.
Yeah, that's in. You got people leaning the wrong way on this one. That was a big washout on Friday. It was a pre-market prep stock of the day on Friday. Held 102, held the low. Actually, even held the close today. So, shorts looking for follow through. Shorts looking for double digits in there. Citigroup throws a monkey wrench in it. You're right. Is it a short tomorrow? Who knows? The only thing is like this 128.8. There's still a lot of go to get to the bottom of Thursday's range at 143. But Citigroup turned the tide in it for the day. Let's just see if it whether or not it's a 1 day wonder. Oh, that's right. Mark Mahaney was talking positive about this on Friday. Remember that? Seems like a long time ago, but
Gosh, well that wasn't. Was that on Friday? That was on
yeah.
Friday. Oh my gosh, I thought that was at least Thursday. No, it was a long weekend. Anyway, yeah, you're right. He was talking. You're right. He was talking positive about it, and I remember as he was saying that, I thought, oh boy, this is not going to age well. And here we are a day later, and it's
Oh
aging.
boy, we just took another big leg lower here. Another 10-point drop. We must have got some selling balances laid on us there. Just a quick burst of 42.90 there. So, what are they laying out?
Uh,
Yeah.
it's a never-ending stream of headlines, Joel. Between the U.S. and so you've got the White House, you've got the DoD, you've got Russia, you've got Ukraine, you've got Europe, right? And you so all these different parties at play here. So the headline that I'm just seeing is coming from the Pentagon, right? So every time I don't understand why we rallied, frankly. I
What do you see from the Pentagon?
I just saw a thing that the Pentagon is moving up several orders of F-35 jets along the eastern flank of NATO. So
I'm seeing a Ukrainian president says decree issued to recruit reservists during a special period. That came
all
out
right.
at 349
I'm
16.
also seeing nice selling balance in the billions. So could just be that, but yeah. Um, this is gonna be a fun last 9 minutes here. Because now,
Yeah.
because now we're right. Are we not halfway, Joel? Are we not halfway between the low?
If you, I'm including the overnight range. So the overnight range, it's a little bit higher. It's 43.20 if you use the the 20 use that ridiculous high we made on Sunday night. So that, but no, so that I'm using the full 24-hour market, and that mid range came in at 43.20. So sellers into the close here, so we are not looking good here. That 43.17 is now 30 handles away, going into the last 8 minutes of the session.
All right, what tickers do y'all want to talk about? Drop them in the chat. Oh, I did want to plug the earnings calendar for tonight here. Let's get that on the screen right now. So here we go. Seizures Entertainment, Toll Brothers, Palo Alto, Teladoc, Virgin Galactic. Not that you care about their numbers at all, but you care about the timeline for when they're going to go to space. So this is your calendar for tonight. Tomorrow morning, Barclays, um, lows we talked about, and Overstock jump out to me for the overnight earnings reports. Yeah, I mean, you want to look at? We can look at Teladoc, sure, for Muhammad. Yeah.
Yeah, Teledocs, you're flipping a coin with the earnings street leading low into the report. New low of the move, low expectations. So something good. It may get a pop, maybe to 70. That's your 2 day high. What your high comes in at? Low bar, street leading short. 70.54 is your 2 day high if you're looking for a target. On You're being very optimistic on the monthlies. Next monthly low doesn't come into 60.05.
What else y'all want to talk about? Da, 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 da. Let's find any names that I have not spoken about 4 times today already. Um, what about?
AMD is easy as one, two, three. Man, just it's green, but I tell you, market forces on this one just too much. It's trading near the lows of the session. Gave you a nice pop here. Couldn't quite get not to the high from last week, but you got a daily high at 119.20. That was shy of your 119.54. High back on the 16th. Not much here, but at least it's green. One of the few stocks, green on the session, at least for now.
All right, here's one. Intuitive Surgical, ISRG. Now, Medtronic had earnings this morning, and they were good, and the whole medical devices space is trading higher today. Let me just double check on when the ISRG earnings report was, because I want to say that it already happened, but I just want to be sure. It was on the 20th they reported. So the 20th of January, sorry. So they've been out for a while.
Uh, all right. 290. So why are we looking at this one? It already has earnings. We're just
Well,
looking
yeah,
at it for the hell
yeah,
of it.
yep. Who asked about this one? It was Olivia. Olivia asked about it.
Olivia Newton John.
That's not.
Uh, you're probably too young to remember who that is.
I know who that is.
Uh, Let's see here. You gap down. I would say I couldn't get comfortable on this stock on the long side till it proved to be that it could take out the 3, 4 highs at the 295 area. That's a gap area. Did it fill that gap that one day? Wow. Two, where was that gap down? This low is 291.82. on this day. So you did more than fill the gap when you went up to this area. Kind of been in a trading range if you want to get really optimistic. This has been in a trading range from 278, let's say, to 295, kind of near the lower end of the range. And it looks like it's catching a little bit of holding up a little bit better in relation to the January lows. But I wouldn't look for this thing ripping until the upside till you can clear that 295.
What about okay, this is a good one. GOGL, good one. This is for John Lamb. And John Lamb wants to know GOGL, Golden Ocean Group. Should I buy more? He wants
No,
should he
no, we don't give investment advice. It
should
what
he wants to know if he should average up here.
in
You know what? I'd rather average up than average down.
does he want Google or
No,
does
no.
he
He said GOGL.
Golden Ocean Group Limited?
I'm assuming he wants to average up. I guess I
What the
assume
hell do they do?
I could be assuming wrong. Maybe he owns the stock from like a decade ago. In which case I'd be
What
wrong.
do they do?
What do they do? Great question. I'm glad you asked. That's why I've been thinking pro. I don't have to know. I just look it up in the pro. They are a dry. Oh, it's shipping. Dry bulk shipping. We like the shippers. That whole space is hot right now. Hence the chart.
Hmm. Okay, this stock has been a dog for a
Yeah, but
long time.
they all look like this though. Like all the shipping stocks look like this, right? What's the other one? It's like oh not George Dry Ships is dead, but um what's the ETF BDRY, right?
Yeah. Oh man,
It's a little bit different. Never mind. Um, I
this
don't
is a
know.
tough chart. I mean, this thing has done absolutely nothing since 2016. So, it's having a.
It's done really well the last couple months.
I know. Last couple, yeah, man,
It's
you
gone from
really.
it's 8 to 13 in a month.
This is what I'll say, and I don't know. Is this a Reddit stock or something?
I don't
Is
think
is
so. It
Reddit
doesn't.
hopping on this
It
one?
doesn't.
Let
No,
me.
I don't think so.
Listen, man, you guys throw me some tough charts.
Not not every trending stock has to be like a Reddit play.
No, no, just a lot of them. Um, I would say on the upside, you got 1430 is the next monthly resistance level I see it. So that's it. After you cleared this 985, 1430 was your high back in December of 2015. Boy, you're just so if you're averaging up, and that'd be my next target for you, 1430. Then it opens up to 1604. What's going on? Just let me see. The other trick that I will use on this one here is like the volume, and it had pretty steady volume, and looks like the boat got loaded on Thursday, leaked a little bit on volume on Friday. This is a big volume day, which bodes well for a continuation of the trend. So I'm not going to tell you whether to buy more, sell more, or whatever. I'll just say next target for me is it would be 1430 on the upside. Now I'm seeing a buy-in balance of 1.4 billion. Those imbalances are tough to hold. A dividend yield of 6.9. I don't know. You guys are tough. 1430. Next.
Hey, I,
Next.
next is we're here, Joel. We are at the closing bell.
Really?
There it is. So we made it. We closed kind of right in the mid range between the high of that rally from after the presser and
Yeah.
then below that move 10 minutes ago. So
Smoke them if you got them.
um,
We did make a new closing low for the move, which is bad, which is not good news. So that's a negative. The good news is the market did show a little bit of resolve off that 42.80 some low that we just made there. So it's gonna be a wacky Wednesday tomorrow. That's about all I can predict. It looks like you do getting a little push. We're already, I talk about the mark, and I think the mark is gonna be like 43.0150. So you are seeing a little bit of continuation buying here. Find out where your stocks closed. Use that, use that as a buffer for tomorrow. Look where your stocks are at in relation to their January low. If they already took out that January low, you may want to take another look at them. And we'll see what Mr. News brings to us tomorrow. That's about it for me.
That's all we can do. All right, Cannabis Insiders going live right now, followed by Money Mitch. We're done for the day. Joel and I will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Stay tuned for Cannabis Insider right now.